Welcome to True Fulfillment Podcast. I'm your host, Daisy Cross, transformational life coach, professional hypnotist, speaker, and a teacher of Kundalini yoga and meditation. True Fulfillment Podcast welcomes you into individual talks and guest conversations as I join together with fellow transformational speakers, coaches, authors, rockstar philanthropists, and thought leaders as they share their inspiring stories of transformation with the intention of igniting humanity's souls to chase their dreams, to serve deeply, and to live wildly free, fulfilled lives. This soul-moving and upbeat podcast is sure to move you into radical inspired action towards the greater vision for your life. Hey, beautiful people. My name is Daisy Cross, and thanks for tuning in. I wanted to share with you a bit about myself and why I became inspired to name my podcast True Fulfillment, which was deeply inspired by my beautiful mum who's guiding us right now from the angelic realms. So for all my life, I've been on this search for a feeling of fulfillment. I've chased it and been on this hungry search for it. The beauty industry and gender role beliefs promised I could find it in a sculpted body and by the way I looked. That was a lie. I then thought that I could find it by being perfect and by embodying this type of fake personality. Nope, definitely not there. That just led to suppression. I then thought that perhaps it was in a degree and in those six figures. Nope, not there either. This just led to fatigue and burnout in a career I hated. After uni, I went on a journey of healing, self-discovery, and lots of Eastern travel. My adventurous and hungry mind led me on a path of adventures, a stamped-out passport, many treks, learning Kung Fu in China, and sitting at the feet of gurus in India. I was constantly reaching and searching for the next hit and for the next high, but what I was truly searching for was freedom. Internal freedom from my thoughts and beliefs that had me chained to the past and stuck in self-sabotaging patterns. In December 2014, my life changed forever. At the time, I was singing bhajans and teaching yoga in southern India at an ashram when I got the call from my dad to come home back to Australia. Why? I asked. And then his next words changed my life forever. Because Daisy, Mum is dying of cancer. Get home now. And my heart broke for the very first time. I was lucky enough to be able to spend Mum's last 3 months with her and the family. It was during these times of just connecting with her and spending time with her and connecting with her on a deeper level now that I was an adult that I learned that true fulfillment is a feeling of having lived a rich life of no regrets. A few days before Mum's passing, I asked her, Mum, are there any desires or dreams left in your heart? Daisy, she said, all I have ever wanted is to have 6 beautiful kids. Everything else is meaningless. My soul is fulfilled. And for those of you that did know my mom that are listening right now, you know that's exactly what she would have said. All she have ever wanted ever since she was 6 years of age was to have 6 beautiful children. And she got that. I like to feel that my mum really did leave this earth happy, deeply fulfilled, and at peace. You see, as we lay on our deathbeds, we are forced to sit with our life and our memories. We are forced to face the opportunities we took and those we missed, the dreams we chased that became reality, and the dreams we let slip away. I remember a year back reading a book called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying by Bronnie Ware. Bronnie worked in a palliative care unit for many years, and she wrote a book about the 5 common regrets shared by her patients coming in to die. The top regret was, I wished I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. It goes on to add, I feel that when people realize that their life is almost over and look back clearly on it, it is easy to see how many dreams have gone unfulfilled. Most people don't even honor a half of their dreams and have to die knowing that it's due to choices they make or don't make. It is very important to try and honor at least some of your soul's dreams along the way. From the moment that you lose your health, it is too late. Health brings a freedom very few realize until they no longer have it, which is a very important lesson I learnt from my mum's passing. Look after your health and be careful of waiting, because we can be waiting so long that suddenly it's too late. At the time of my mum's passing, I was going through extreme body abuse through constriction, suppression, and controlled eating. It became so severe that I hadn't had a menstrual cycle for 6 years. And I was 45 kilos when I returned from India. You see, I was chained to self-loathing and chained to a belief that my self-worth was rooted in my body. I had suppressed myself to a mere nothing. I remember the morning of my mum's passing so clearly. I was holding my mum's hand, witnessing the fragility of her breath become more shallow. Myself and the family were around her. As we saw the tender life leave her eyes, it was the most sacred but heart-wrenching moment of my life. Knowing that I could never be able to hug my mum and to touch her physical body again made me sick to my stomach. For those of you that have lost a loved one, know exactly what I'm speaking about. The depth of it is unbearable. Something hit me so powerfully in the chest the morning of my mum's passing. I knew at that moment that if I continued what I was doing, then I too was headed for an early death. And so on that day, on March 26th, 2015, I made a commitment to myself. I made a very strong, convicted agreement that I was going to give Daisy a shot at life. Mum did not birth me on earth for me to live this way. She had set me up for success, and I was wasting this precious life and my blessed gifts. On that day, I drew a line in the sand, and I was never, ever going back. I made a commitment to healing. I made a commitment to living fully. I made a commitment to my higher calling. I made a commitment to giving Daisy's dreams a chance. And that day was the day I embarked on healing the only relationship that truly matters. And that's the relationship with self. And I embarked on the journey of forgiveness. And this was the most uncomfortable journey I had embarked on yet. But oh goodness, it is so damn worth it. That was also the day I said yes to God's calling for my life. I began attracting teachers into my life that would guide me into my next level. I began speaking, sharing my stories, holding women's circles, and teaching meditation. You know, I always had this fire and passion for life as a little girl. And the more I began teaching and sharing my gifts, the more this fire and passion for life returned. It was as if I was welcoming back a long lost part of myself. Fast forward now in 2021, I'm serving and inspiring humanity in a way that is far beyond my most wildest dreams. My path of healing and transformation led me to teachers that taught me about the power of the mind. I began learning about subconscious reprogramming through Kundalini yoga, hypnosis, and NLP. And as I began breaking through my own limitations, I became radically inspired to help others. I'm a transformational life coach, and I use hypnosis and NLP as tools to facilitate clients' healing and transformation. I work with people one-on-one and in personal development group settings. And you can also find me speaking and sharing my stories and inspiring humanity with the intention of igniting their souls to get radically urgent about life. A truth that I love reminding my clients about is that every baby comes into this world untouched, innocent, with this limitless potential. And that everything other than that is complete learnt and BS. The basis of my work is an unlearning process, unlearning the teachings of the world and a remembering the truth of who we are. Sure, this can get uncomfortable as we must step out of what's familiar in order to expand into our next level. Who were we before we learned that we weren't good enough? Who were we before we got told that we were less than perfect? When did we learn that relationships equal pain? We may have forgotten for a moment, but the process of awakening is a remembering process. When we awaken from the sleepy dream and expand out of our limitations, we naturally begin to ask deeper questions. Who am I? And why am I here? Buckle up, because the moment you ask, the universe delivers. You have a very special gift and a higher calling for your life. Hiding that is doing humanity a disservice. We need you more than ever. Being close to 30, I am the happiest I have ever been in all my life. And I feel so deeply fulfilled as I continue to serve and uplift humanity in my unique way. And yes, it took my mum's passing to wake me up. And often it does take that diagnosis, the breakup, or getting laid off, or possibly all three, to wake us up and to start living fully. So the recipe to a fulfilled life? Well, this is what I have so far. A fulfilled life isn't about the money, the big house, or the car, nor is it about having the perfect body or the high-ranking career. These things only leave us starving for more. But at this moment in my life, with my current experience, I believe the recipe to living a fulfilled life is to have the courage and the bravery to give yourself a wildly good shot at life. Give those dreams, desires, and visions on your heart a wicked good go. I feel living a fulfilled life is to love so deeply that it hurts, and then to get back up and to love wildly again. To live passionately on purpose with no regrets. To chase those highs and to embrace and cherish those magic moments with your loved ones. I feel living a fulfilled life is to give yourself permission to experience and explore the heart's desires and deepest yearnings, and to richly and boldly speak up for that in which you are most passionate about. I feel that deep fulfillment comes from being of service to humanity and to have the courage to say yes to your God-blessed gifts and to use them to uplift humanity in your unique way. There's a story I remember Wayne Dyer used to share a few years back about a husband and wife. The husband was a wealthy businessman who neglected his wife and children for his business. He was in finance and he was chained to the abundance of cash flow and success his business constantly generated. His children didn't know him well and he didn't know them well, nor was he ever present for his wife, and he would be really horrible to her. On his last days here on earth, on his deathbed, there his wife was, beside him, with him, while he took his last few breaths. He took her hand and said, "I neglected you and my family and my children all my life, yet here you are still beside me." He then looked into her eyes and said, "What if my whole life has been a lie?" And he took his last exhale and left his physical body. To get to the end of your life and to feel unfulfilled with regret on your heart is perhaps the greatest tragedy of all. When my mum was experiencing her last days on earth, her mind and heart were filled with those magic moments when she was deeply present with her children, with her family, and with her loved ones. I believe these are the moments we take with us during our final days, the sacred moments of deep connection and presence. The beautiful gift is that today is a new day. Every day we get another chance to show up more passionately. Every day we get another opportunity to forgive, serve, and be kind. Every day we get another opportunity to love even more deeply. Every day we get another opportunity to connect with our partners family, and children. Every day we get another opportunity to say, you know what? I love you and I deeply, deeply care about you. Love hard, serve deeply, and say yes to the higher calling for your life. Thank you, Mum, for constantly reminding me to get urgent about life and to say yes to the higher purpose and higher calling for my life. Oh, this took a lot of courage and a lot of bravery for me to speak and share this story about my own journey of healing and transformation. And for those of you that knew my mum, you knew her as being this colourful and vibrant being, and how she just stepped foot into a room and the whole room would just light up in colour and white light and sparkles, and she was just an angelic, colourful being. And so this session of this podcast is for my beautiful mum, to honour her and her brilliance and her love. So if you enjoyed this episode, I invite you to subscribe and share this episode with maybe friends and family for those that need this message. God bless you all and have a beautiful, beautiful day.